Hey everybody, what's going on? What I was seeing in the pre-shuffle, what really caught my eye especially was an energy of needing to possibly switch some things up in order for you to connect with what you want. Like maybe for some of you, you have something in mind that you want, that you've become aware of now at this point, and there could be some really particular, maybe deep changes that need to be made in order for that to become possible and for that to really happen. And it also seemed like this is something that it can take a lot of effort in order for you to figure it out and to understand it. I don't know if this is just about like figuring out what you truly want, or this is about figuring out how to actually make that happen. Maybe both of those things. But I'm getting something like that. And then the like final shuffle, what I was seeing was that if this is something that you kind of back down from, you could feel like you're keeping yourself maybe from the type of love that you want or from the type of connection that you want. You can be just keeping yourself from something that you feel like would meet your needs, or something that you see as being like unequivocal when it comes to like something that would nourish you. Yeah, there can be something about like your nourishment here, that this feels important for you to have that. And if you don't do whatever this is, you can feel like it's keeping you from that in some way. Like maybe you feel like there's some deep need that wouldn't be being met if you would deny this. We're starting off with Nine of Pentacles and Queen of Wands. You can be seeing the light and the power of your own efforts here, and maybe even believing in yourself a bit more. Now can be a time too where Nine of Pentacles can sometimes be what's amounted of the efforts that we've made. So you can be seeing something here. You can be seeing some type of result here. And with Queen of Wands, this can be something that's totally yours, where you're like, I did that. And having Six of Swords can be things being better because of it, things getting better because of it, things moving forward. So maybe it was a time when you need to like wake up a little bit here and see what you were really capable of, and maybe needed to apply yourself, maybe apply some pressure on yourself too. And you can be seeing that it's taking you where you want to be going now. Here is that Ace of Cups that I was seeing. I'm looking at you moving towards something that you want. And it can be what much of your focus is on right now, having the sun next to it. This is the thing that feels right for you currently. I see you found yourself. You found yourself, you found your footing. This is an energy where you're not looking for anybody else to step in the places where you are meant to. This is an energy where you're showing up where you are meant to be showing up, and that you're not relying on others as a crutch for what you're not doing for yourself. That doesn't mean that we don't like need others and that we don't collaborate and whatnot. This is to say that the places where it's on you to be showing up, I'm actually seeing you doing that. So maybe you're putting more of a focus on yourself now. There can be a lot of ownership that's involved in this, and you can be like taking responsibility for yourself and what's happening, and what's also like what you're doing within the environment that you're moving around within too. I see you looking at yourself, and you're looking at what you're doing and like paying attention right now to your life and yourself. You know, instead of like walking through life being absent-minded and just feeling like things are happening to you, this feels like being present to what's going on right now and being deliberate. Where you're like, oh, I do have a say in some of these things that are going on here, and I am actually like part of the collaboration that is my life in 3D. And being very tuned in. We have both luminaries here, and we also have Aries too. So the luminaries are the sun and the moon, and both of these energies are connected with consciousness and connected with awareness, connected with self, connected with intuition, connected with light, connected with knowledge, connected with our knowing and our remembering. Having High Priestess be connected with Ace of Cups, this is like I'm tuned in enough with myself that I'm understanding what my needs are. I'm understanding what satisfies me and what nourishes me, what resonates with me, and that is what I'm focusing on. So you're not sending yourself on some mission where you're like thinking that something's going to work, then it doesn't really work for you. You're left feeling like your needs are unmet. This is about connecting with something where you know within yourself that this is the right move for you to be making, and you can be being about that now. And having Queen of Wands and having High Priestess, this is a very resilient energy that's connected with a deep self-trust too. And Emperor is also connected with self-trust, and so is the Sun too. So it can be a time overall where you're trusting yourself and trusting the way that you lead yourself as you are navigating through your life right now. I'm hearing I know what I want with High Priestess looking at the Ace of Cups. And having Emperor and having High Priestess next to one another, this is another element of self-trust that's reinforced by this, where you tune into your inner navigation system, your inner compass, and that's what you're using. So the way that you're navigating through it, it is internally guided through a place of self-awareness and presence. I'm not seeing you be limited by any means right now. But maybe also what that means too is that there are a couple different ways that this can go, and you don't know entirely how this is going to pan out, but you are moving forward. But maybe this has even afforded you opportunities that you didn't necessarily have before, or maybe didn't consider before. There can also be some unfinished stuff that's connected with your story that you're still writing out, that you haven't finished. Like aspects of the blueprint that are still developing. Meaning things are moving forward, but there can still be some question marks. This can also be a time where you're getting more comfortable doing the things that you need to be doing, and that you're getting better at like managing things yourself. You know, like rather than drowning and being like, I have all of this stuff to do, it can be a time where you're like, I'm getting good at figuring things out, and when I have like multifaceted things going on, I'm learning how to manage those things and manage them well. And this can also be about like managing yourself too. Like maybe you're getting more disciplined here, maybe you're getting more organized here, Maybe you are like gaining skill sets that are connected with managing things, managing your attention, what you're focusing on, being more intentional with that too, and making sure that it's stuff where, sometimes you catch yourself, or like, yeah, sometimes you catch yourself making certain things your business, and then you're like, why am I doing this? And it can be like kind of more automatic. This feels like getting things in line where you're not doing that, where it is deliberate as far as like what you're considering to be your business and what you're up to and what you're thinking about, what you're speaking on, what you're focusing on. And I think that this is helping you organize, because I'm seeing some fog that is beginning to dissipate now at this point. So I'm seeing things become more and more clear. You may not totally feel like you're there yet, but it's in the process of happening, where it seems like the further along you go, the more things are becoming clarified for you. But I do see some questions that you still have about your journey. But it feels like in moving forward, those things are going to get answered. But yeah, you can just be like, I'm moving forward, but I do still have some unanswered questions about how this is going to go and what am I supposed to be doing over here, like that sort of thing. But I'm getting that like the further you go, like these things are being answered and clarified for you. And it feels too like you can be zooming in a little bit and focusing on just what's directly in front of you, because it feels like there can still be some certain big picture things that are like too far out to answer right now. So right now can just be about like what's right in front of you, and then when you get to those parts, those answers are going to come too. And it can be about like managing that, and maybe managing the zoom. Like sometimes you have to zoom in, sometimes you have to zoom out. So it can be about doing that dance with yourself too, to make sure that you're staying on track. I see you also having different things that you're in charge of too, and so it feels like it's important that you're keeping balance with that. And this can also be balance between putting in work and also like enjoying things too. That like you work for what you have, and that then you spend time enjoying what it is that you have. Or you spend time investing, and then you spend time relaxing. You spend time making an effort, you spend time resting, working, having fun. There's just like this whole balance of things that you can be feeling like you're getting better at doing that, and you can be feeling like things are becoming more manageable. And you can also feel like what's going on inside, which is connected with the high priestess, and how you are expressing that with the sun, that they're aligned with one another and aligned with your divine will, which is connected with the emperor and connected with the sun. So there's not a mismatch. It's like how I'm expressing things is reflective of what's going on the inside, and that's clear to me. So I'm just seeing you figuring out how to like make your way forward, and that is what's happening right now, and that you can feel like you're getting better at figuring things out and managing things in general, and that you're not drowning. And that doesn't mean that you're like, I have all of the answers in the world, but it can mean that you feel like you're on track, even if you don't have all the answers, even if you still have some questions. I think this has to do, like, in certain ways, it can be with, like, what you're doing. There can be aspects about, like, your purpose, yourself, like, your path. These can be things that are coming up that you're like, I don't know if I totally know about that. But I do see things just becoming more and more clarified as you move forward. Okay, so it seems like you've been going through a time where this has been about getting on track. And any places where things were not on track, bringing them on track. And that can also mean that there could have been some chaotic stuff that was going on too that you had to figure out as well so that things could move forward. Some of you, there can be something a connection of some sort that you can feel like is still a little bit of a blind spot. Maybe that's part of what you're trying to figure out too. Can be a situation as well. But as long as you're managing things and as long as you're being clear with yourself about what your priorities are and that's honest for you, it feels like these things are going to be straightened out. I will say though, if things are not properly being prioritized, or when I say that, if you are prioritizing things that are not like true to yourself, there is a possibility of opening up a chapter right now that would be off. I'm seeing something like that, but if you are prioritizing the stuff that you know is right for you and is going to work for you and you know actually is nourishing for you and not just like a fantasy or not a lie or something like that, then you don't have anything to like be concerned about. Not that there's ever really anything to be concerned about, but you get what I'm saying here. Because something that I'm seeing within the energy is that if your priorities are screwed up in some way and you're not being totally reflective and clear on that, there is the potential for you to begin a new chapter that would kind of like lead you down a path where you're going to have to come back because you're going to have to make a correction there. But if you know that you are on track and that you're prioritizing the things that you need to be, then that's not going to be part of the storyline. But there can be something going on where there's a temptation to go down a particular path where it's not really going to do what you need it to do, but it can temporarily. Yeah, and we can leave it at that. And having Chariot on the bottom of the deck, this is another energy that's connected with the moon because Chariot is connected with Cancer. And Cancer has to do with our needs, our innermost needs. So I think this is coming back to like, are you choosing a real chapter and to connect with the things where your needs are like legitimately going to be met? Or are you trying to enter into a chapter being like, I want this to meet my needs, so I'm going to tell myself that it is, and then it's not really. And then you're going to be in a chapter with like insufficient funds energetically. And then you're going to be suffering because of that. So this can be like a theme that's coming up. Like, not only how well do you know yourself, but do you honor what you know to be true for yourself? Or are you still trying to push something that doesn't work? Yeah. So yeah, with that being said, we're going to leave the reading here. I'd like to thank everyone for connecting and tuning in. I'm sending everybody love, and I hope to catch you guys next time.